Hey friends, Javi here. Today I'm going to show you a few techniques for the Achilles tendon and also the ankle. So with a lot of the flat ground around us, concrete, pavement, our floors, it's difficult for the joints to get the diversity that they're needed to stay healthy and lubricated. What is the foremost, probably the most important exercise for Tai Chi, Qigong, martial arts, any exercise that includes the legs or that needs the legs, any sport that needs the legs? I'd say it's hill running. Hill running provides an incline and a slope so that your foot can stretch, so that your Achilles, ankle, calf can stretch, and as well as your hamstring and as well as your lower back. Having to push up and off as you run up, climb up, or jog up a hill provides the diversity, the stimulation to the legs, and then the circulation and the cell replacement to the joints, to those tissues, and then to the synovial fluid, the lubrication needed to keep the joints healthy. So this is particularly going to deal with the ankle area, specifically the Achilles and calf area and region. Let's get started. So first and foremost, walking up a hill and climbing a hill, hiking up a hill to the mountaintop, like I said, gives us that activation and the diversity of stretch needed so that the legs can stay healthy. That gives us now what we call our mountain climbing stance. And so this is where mountain climbing stance comes from, having to walk up the hill. Now you see this back leg, if I'm walking up a hill, it gets that stretch and then it gets that activation and push off. It's required by the Achilles and the calf. And then, you know, for the sake of the exercise, you also have the pushing off here of the hamstring connecting to the glutes, and then also in the lower back. So let's say your calf and your Achilles are really tight. This stance right here might just be enough to get this area stretched. So if your calf and your Achilles tendon is tight and it's sensitive, and this is enough to get a stretch, then you're going to go ahead and do this. You're going to elongate your stance as needed. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and switch legs. So what I'll do is I'll start with feet together, and then I'll walk and I'll keep the foot flat. I'll walk again, keep the foot flat, walk again, try to keep the foot flat, and then I start to feel the stretch. Okay? So from here, the important thing to do is to keep the heel flat on the ground. That's going to give me and provide me my stretch. The next thing to do, you might need to balance. The next thing to do is to tuck the pelvis forward. I don't know if you can see that. Point the tailbone forward to the front foot. That's going to also give you a little bit of a stretch in the front side hip flexor area of this back leg. But that's going to also stretch the calf and stretch the Achilles area. So play with the tailbone forward, play with the tailbone back. When the tailbone goes back, you can also bend the front knee while keeping the heel down to give the calf and Achilles their stretch. You come up and then down, come up and then down. This is going to be the level 1 body regulation exercise for the calf stretch. Part 2 of that is to add the breath cycles to that. So you come up, inhale, and exhale on the stretch to allow the releasing of the tissues. Come up, inhale, and exhale, stretch to allow releasing of the tissues. Okay. Slowly come out of the stretch to push off. That's inhale also, and exhale down. Inhale here, and exhale down. So 2 variations for the same leg stretch here, right? Bending the knee forward, exhale, inhale, and exhale down. Next exercise is to come up, inhale. You could actually exhale here, exhale to push off. If it's difficult to push off, you exhale. And then inhale, come heel down, heel flat on the ground. All right. But I would say for this exercise, the breathing is interchangeable. If you want to focus on the stretch, you'd come up, inhale, and exhale. Come up, inhale, and exhale. If you want to focus on strengthening the calf muscle, then you exhale here and inhale and exhale and inhale. That's if you're ready to work on the strengthening. I recommend doing stretching first before you strengthen. Stretch first before you strengthen. And then so you would do the same for this leg here. So for the sake of balance and to add more layers to the Qigong exercise, let's make it more Qigong. We're going to switch legs here. And we're going to go back to leaning forward and rising up. Leaning forward and rising up. Okay, so that's the body regulation. Second level, second layer is adding the breath regulation. Now the third part is to add the mind, 1 to the heel and 2 to the releasing and relaxation of the movement. So in order for the tissues to respond and release, you have to have a nervous system, energetic, mental response to relax and to release. And when you do that on the exhale. You rise up, inhale, and exhale. Exhale, you release tension, relax, and allow those tissues to open up. Inhale, and exhale. And inhale. And exhale. Do that 3 to 5 minutes. Now, if we go to the second part of the exercise, the second variation, let's say you're ready to strengthen, okay? So you inhale and exhale, push. Inhale. And exhale, push. Inhale. And exhale, push. This is a little bit of a harder, more aggressive exhale. It's not much of a relaxation because you're strengthening and you're trying to push. Inhale. And exhale. Okay, so let's say you're not too sensitive. You can step onto a stair or a brick or a rock, something to that effect, so that your weight can hang beyond the heels as you have your toes pressed on the ledge. And you're going to probably need something to hold your weight. Let's say a balance beam or something. I have a bush and or a tree here. And you can see here, I'm stretching. I'm starting to stretch. So like I said, you can step on a brick. You can step on a rock. I'm at this nice stream right here. Or you can use stairs. Let your body weight hang off the stairs. And all I'm doing here is just allowing the tissues to stretch. Okay. If I wanted to meditate on this, if there's sensitivity, then I want to go deep, relax, focus on relaxation, and regulate deep abdominal breathing. Inhale and exhale. And inhale. And exhale. Release and relax. For the sake of balance, let's switch legs. Regulate deep abdominal breathing here. Inhale. And exhale. Release the tissues and relax. Feel the stretch growing into more of the tissues of the muscle. Inhale deeply, deep abdominal breathing. And exhale. Release and relax. And if you're on stairs or if you're on a nice long board and you can have both feet hanging, that's okay, because then you have both feet distributing the body's weight. With one foot at a time, you have each foot having to hold the body's weight. So you'll need to account for that and see if you are able to let each foot hold the body's weight one at a time. Now, as we had in the last stretch, last exercise, a stretching and a strengthening, now we're going to add a strengthening component. If you have stretched the calf enough, I would say, use caution and be careful. You don't want to tax the muscle too much because you're going to need it throughout the day as you're walking in and out of your various activities throughout the day. So don't tax the muscle too much. Just do a few repetitions. So we'll do that. We're going to come up, push out, and then releasing slowly. However, you do want to be cautious here about releasing too much, as that's going to add more of a stretch to the calf. Here, I've got the ground stopping me, so I really don't have nothing to worry about. So like I said, I would recommend using some sort of brick or something to the effect that to stop the heel once it comes down. So again, I'm going to come up and I'm going to try to get a full engagement and a full contraction of the muscle, and then releasing to get a full stretch. So I feel that in the back of the knee, and I would use caution as you do this as well. Take time to really develop a relationship with this area as you open these regions. Inhale and exhale. So what I'm going to do here is add this other leg for support so that the whole body is not distributed on my exercised leg here. So I'm going to add this other leg for support. Inhale, release, and exhale, stretch. Inhale, release, and exhale, contract. Fully engage and contract. Inhale, and exhale. Getting a full contraction there. Now, if I wanted to focus on stretching, I would reverse the breathing. So what I would do is exhale and down. Inhale. Exhale down. And that would actually nourish the tissues of the calf muscle there. I'm going to stretch here. We're about to wrap it up. Just allowing the stretch to settle in, allowing for the tissues of the calf muscle to start to stretch. Allow the Achilles there to start to stretch as well. You can play with a little bit of the tailbone as well and see how that facilitates more of a stretch. So let's regulate some deep abdominal breathing here to allow for that stretch to propagate and allow for the relaxation. So deep abdominal breathing, inhale and exhale. Release and relax, allowing those tissues to stretch. And inhale deeply. And exhale, releasing and relaxing. Let's do one more. Inhale deeply. And exhale. And once we feel like we've gotten a good stretch, it might take a few times to do this stretch. It might take a couple of weeks to get used to this and allow the stretch to really settle. But once you're acclimated and the calf feels good, then you can start to strengthen and contract the muscle, pushing up and pushing out. I'm using the ground as a support here on the opposite leg. I'm exhaling and pushing into the ground. Inhale. And exhaling, pushing into the ground. Remember, I'm using my hand to balance, which you might need to as well. Exhale, or inhale rather, and exhale. And inhale. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. It's a strong, assertive exhale there. So we did 2 types of breathing. Just be cautious of that. Good. I really feel that, and I hope you do too. I hope that helps you. If you have any questions about that, get in contact with me. Let me know. Just to review, what we did was we opened up the calf, the Achilles, for the ankle region. Now, the best way to do this is actually just climbing up a hill, making that, a good part of your routine, your exercise, your movement medicine, your movement practice for the week. I'd say at least 2 times, do a hill walk. And if that region is really bothering you, really care for that. Take time to get into that. If you're not able to do that, these exercises are going to help to open up this area of the foot. So what we did was first make that mountain climbing stance, and from there leaning forward to stretch the calf, and then rising up, leaning forward to stretch the calf, and then rising up. Remember deep abdominal breathing. And then from there, pushing off into the ground to contract and strengthen the muscle. And we switched the breathing on that. And then so that one was first if your calf muscle is already sensitive and tight, and the mountain climbing stance on the ground is going to engage as needed. Then the next exercise we did was to relax your body's weight off of a ledge, whether it's stairs or a rock, or in this case I used a rock, but you can use a brick or something to that effect. You get the idea. The next thing to do is to relax the body's weight into that stretch, deep abdominal breathing, exhaling to relax the stretch, and then rising up if you want to, exhaling to relax the stretch. Then when you want to strengthen, you're ready to strengthen, you exhale assertively, reverse the breathing, exhale to push away, inhale, release, exhale to push away, and release. All right, that's it. Hope that helps. See you next time.